In a world where freedom is often taken for granted, what truly defines a nation's greatness? Fulton J. Sheen takes us on a profound journey through the heart of America, revealing how its strength lies not in its wealth or power, but in something far deeper, its God-given rights and the value of every individual. Through the symbol of the soaring eagle, Sheen shows us the divine mission America was chosen to fulfill. But with great power comes great responsibility. Join me as we uncover Sheen's powerful vision for a nation called to defend liberty and the soul of mankind.
We live in a world where routine often blinds us to the incredible blessings we enjoy every day. Fulton Sheen draws our attention to the fact that the food we eat, the water we drink, and the very roads we travel are so commonplace that we rarely stop to appreciate them. But Sheen's point goes deeper. Just as we take these conveniences for granted, so too have many Americans started to take their country for granted. In his powerful reflection, Sheen speaks of a declining patriotism, a loss of pride in the very things that make America unique. But what makes this decline so dangerous is not just the absence of national pride, but the erosion of understanding about what America truly represents. He urges his listeners to remember the glories of the nation, glories that go beyond material success. The essence of America, Sheen argues, lies in its values and its role in the world. Sheen's message is a wake-up call. He invites Americans to rediscover the spirit that birthed the nation, to rekindle the sense of purpose that gave rise to its freedoms, and to never forget that the greatness of America lies in something deeper than its prosperity. It's a call for every citizen to reflect on what it truly means to be an American, and to no longer take the country's blessings for granted. At the heart of Sheen's message is a profound truth that is both timeless and essential. America's rights and liberties are not human inventions. They don't come from laws, governments, or political parties. They come from God. Sheen brilliantly reminds us that this is the foundational principle that sets America apart from other nations. He points to the Declaration of Independence, a document that boldly declares that all men are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights by their Creator. Sheen underscores the importance of this idea. These rights are not granted by the state, and therefore they cannot be taken away by the state. They are divine gifts, woven into the very nature of what it means to be human. In Sheen's view, this divine origin of rights is critical to the preservation of freedom. If we forget that our liberties come from God, we leave them vulnerable to being manipulated or taken away by those in power. America's strength lies in its reliance on this truth, that there is a higher authority than any government, and that authority is what secures our freedoms. The moment the country strays from this belief, it opens the door to tyranny. Sheen's reminder is clear. America's rights and liberties can only endure as long as the nation remains anchored to God. Without that divine foundation, freedom becomes fragile, subject to the whims of those who seek control. The dignity of the individual is at the very core of what makes America exceptional. Sheen beautifully articulates how the founding documents of the United States, particularly the Constitution, begin with a powerful declaration: "We the people." In these 3 words, America affirms the value of the individual, placing the person, not the state, at the center of its system of governance. Sheen emphasizes that this is not just a legal or political statement, it's a profound recognition of the worth of every human being. In America, the individual is not a tool to be used or discarded based on their utility to the state. Each person is unique, irreplaceable, and possesses inherent rights that cannot be stripped away. This stands in stark contrast to the collectivist ideologies that reduce individuals to mere components of a larger machine. Sheen's reflection on the value of the human person is a reminder of what's at stake. He warns that if America loses sight of this fundamental principle, it risks sliding into the same dehumanizing systems that have led to oppression and tyranny throughout history. The dignity of the person is not just a philosophical idea, it is the foundation of freedom. Without it, justice and liberty crumble. Sheen's critique of communism goes beyond political theory. It strikes at the heart of the human experience. In communist systems, the individual is nothing more than a cog in a vast, impersonal machine. Sheen describes how communism strips away the dignity of the person, reducing human beings to mere instruments of the state. Their worth is tied solely to their usefulness, and once they are no longer needed, they are cast aside without a second thought. Sheen's story of the communist cartoonist, once celebrated by the party but later abandoned when he became ill, is a chilling illustration of this dehumanization. In the communist worldview, people have no inherent value. They are only as good as their last contribution. This is a stark contrast to the American belief in the sanctity of the individual, a belief that says every person has worth, not because of what they can do, but because of who they are. Sheen's message is a powerful condemnation of any system that denies the value of the human person. He challenges us to recognize the dangers of ideologies that prioritize the collective over the individual, and to defend the principles that uphold human dignity. The true measure of a society, Sheen argues, is how it treats its most vulnerable members. In America, every person matters, not because of what they produce, but because of their God-given worth. Fulton Sheen draws a beautiful comparison between America and Simon of Cyrene, the man who helped Jesus carry his cross on the way to Calvary. Just as Simon was reluctant at first to bear the weight of the cross, America too has at times hesitated in its role as the world's defender of freedom. But once Simon embraced his task, he found a profound sense of purpose and nobility. Sheen suggests that America has been similarly chosen by Providence to carry the cross of defending liberty across the globe. This responsibility is not without its dangers. Sheen acknowledges that America has often found itself on the brink of disaster, caught in the conflicts and crises that come with protecting freedom. But, just as Simon's act of carrying the cross brought him closer to Christ, Sheen believes that America's willingness to bear the burdens of defending liberty has brought it closer to fulfilling its higher calling. Sheen uses the metaphor of a mother eagle pushing her young from the nest to describe America's resilience. Like the eagle, America has faced moments of freefall, when it seemed as though it would crash under the weight of its responsibilities. But time and again, the nation has spread its wings and soared to new heights, rising to the challenge of defending freedom. This, Sheen argues, is America's noble role in the world, to be the guardian of liberty, even when the task is daunting. In closing, Sheen reflects on the symbol of the eagle, chosen by America's founding fathers to represent the spirit of the nation. The eagle is not just a bird of power, it is a bird of vision, soaring high above the earth, seeing the world from a perspective that is both majestic and free. But more importantly, the eagle flies upward, toward God. Sheen contrasts the eagle with other symbols used by nations throughout history. The lion, a symbol of brute strength, represents power through domination. The serpent, a creature of cunning, represents deceit and manipulation. But the eagle is different. It is a creature of the skies, a symbol of freedom, and a reminder that America's strength lies not in force or cunning, but in its pursuit of higher ideals. Sheen's reflection on the eagle as America's symbol is a call to the nation to remain true to its highest aspirations. The eagle flies upward because it is drawn toward something greater than itself, just as America must always strive toward its divine purpose. As long as the nation remains focused on the pursuit of liberty, justice, and faith, it will continue to be a beacon of hope for the world. The eagle, Sheen reminds us, is not just a symbol of strength, but of America's destiny to defend the rights and freedoms granted by God.
As Fulton Sheen so eloquently reminds us, America's greatness lies not in its material achievements, but in its divine purpose. A nation founded on the belief that rights are granted by God, not by man, has a unique responsibility to defend the dignity of every individual and protect the freedoms that make us truly human. Like the eagle, America must continue to soar toward higher ideals, guarding liberty for all. Let us never take these blessings for granted, and always remember the call to defend what is right, what is just, and what is divinely given. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and may we continue to strive for the higher purpose Sheen so passionately believed in.